Beyond Synth 406.
Coming to the end of Cobra Kai, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on like a lot of how I got here. So it's been it's like when you're like you reach that very late stage in life and you just think about your past. Like that is what I'm thinking about right now.
We'll save this emotional stuff for the show. We'll milk it for all it's worth.
I don't know, man. You lead the interview here. Like we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I don't know how to do an interview show.
You've done 400 episodes.
Just make sure to start crying when you get to the good stuff.
That's fine. I'll big cry for you so you can get more listeners.
Yeah. Make sure that there's like liquid sounds. Like you're just like, and it's just, you just never know how things are going to end. And then like,
yeah.
That's like the sound of the tears. Hey there, welcome to the show. This is Beyond Synth. It's the best synthwave chat show there is, and today I am chatting with Zach Robinson, aka DAD, although he doesn't really make music as DAD anymore, but he's been doing some reflecting lately. But in lieu of that, he has been making music for film and TV for many years now, so he's got a nice successful career. It's inspiring. He's been doing, the music for the Cobra Kai series with his partner Leo Bierenberg. They also did the music for Twisted Metal, the series. They also scored the Weird Al movie. Like, they've been doing lots of stuff, and Zach also does scoring as himself as well. Anyways, the point is, he's on the show. There's a new season of Cobra Kai, and so we chat about that and listen to Cobra Kai music, and we'll be getting that in just a second. I just have a few little quick bits of business. There might not be a new episode after this one for a few weeks, because I've got some other editing work to take care of. But if you join the Beyond Synth Patreon, there is bonus content there to keep you busy if you need extra Beyond Synth related things to listen to. I just recorded a movie commentary with Mike. We watched Roadhouse 2024 for the first time. You can do a watch along with us if you like. That's on the Patreon. And we started posting Beyond Synth and Color Theory Talk About Depeche Mode, and that's a series where Color Theory and I talk about Depeche Mode because we like Depeche Mode a lot, and we're going through album by album. So even though there might not be a new episode of Beyond Synth for a few weeks, there is at least another 3 weeks of Brian and I talking about Depeche Mode, and I know that because those episodes are already edited. So there's that. The only other thing I have to mention is, because I've got a few messages from patrons who have issues when things aren't quite working properly. So if you join the Patreon, you have to pick a tier. See, a lot of people, they just join and they automatically choose one of the tiers, like the $2 tier, the $5 tier, the $10 tier, etc. However, some people like to donate a unique amount. They're like, I'm going to donate $6.78, or I'm going to donate $19.81, because it sounds cool. But if you do that, Patreon won't automatically put you into a tier. You have to then still choose one, because if I put something like the Depeche Mode series, for example, that's at the $5 tier. And so if you just donate money to Beyond Synth, even if you're donating like $20, if you haven't picked a tier, then Patreon might block that stuff from you. Because it'll be like, you're not part of the $5 tier, and you're like, hey man, I'm donating $20, and if you donate $20, you should obviously get access to the $5 stuff. So this is just a friendly reminder that if you join the Patreon, or if you're already a patron, don't forget to choose a tier. And I think you can basically choose a tier that's anything that's equal or less than what you donate. So you can still donate a weird amount if you like, you're unique, like, I'm gonna be the fucking 1, 2, 3, 4 guy, and that's fine. Just make sure you also pick a tier so that you get access to all of the content. In the future, there will be things at higher tier levels, because obviously I want to send my appreciation to all the people who have been very generous with their donations over the years. However, as it currently stands, most of the bonus content you can get access to right now is $5 or less. Okay, and because I know I'm gonna fall behind on all these things, let's do some July birthdays.
Cut the candles like the king. Today's your birthday, your was last week your birthday. Happy birthday.
So there's only a few July birthdays, which is nice, and I'm only a month late, so that's good. I got 2 messages here from some patrons. I got one from Cyphered. He says, "Hey Andy, thanks for being a cool guy with a cool show with cool friends and guests. I turn 50 tomorrow, July 27th, and I'm hoping to be included in the birthday shoutout sometime in the next few months when you find the time. Anyway, keep playing cool music and keep making the world a better place. Cheers!" Well, happy birthday to you, Cyphered, July 27th. Happy birthday to Cyphered. Of course, I'm going in this the wrong order because I also got a message from Erlen Flatten who says, "By the way, my birthday is on July 18th. Considering that is tomorrow." You see, when I get to these messages, I have no expectation of it being mentioned in an episode anytime soon. Haha. Well, there you go. Erlen Flatten, happy birthday to you, July 18th. These are all belated July birthdays, by the way. And of course, a very belated July birthday on the 5th to Thomas Ohashi. Thomas, you're a cool guy. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for listening to the show and being cool. And finally, I don't even think Doreen's a patron anymore, but what the hell, July 30th. Happy birthday, Doreen. Hope it was good. You probably don't even listen to the show anymore. Okay, so look, that's all the business. So let's listen to a track from one of the Cobra Kai soundtracks, and then we will go chat with Zach Robinson. All right, this is a super epic one from, I think, the season 5 soundtrack of Cobra Kai. And this is what I'm talking about, because you hear me throughout the conversation with Zach always talk about how like epic and big the score of Cobra Kai is and how awesome it is. And so this is a perfect example of that. This is a track called Actions Have Consequences. And when the song is over, I will be chatting with Zach Robinson. So this is Zach Robinson and Leo Bierenberg from the season 5 Cobra Kai soundtrack, Actions Have Consequences. Well, look, I'm here right now with Mr. Zach Robinson himself, aka DAD. Not so much anymore, but who knows? Maybe something's going on. I understand you've been doing some reflecting, but also the final season of Cobra Kai is coming out. And of course, Zach with his partner Leo Bierenberg. That's correct, right? Am I saying that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Do the score for Cobra Kai and are on their final season. You've been working on so much stuff. You have not technically been on Beyond Synth in like 6 years, although we did Andy's Spaceship maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, Andy's Spaceship is not considered your podcast, right?
No, it is a different thing.
Okay.
Which I would like to make more of, but right now the set is in pieces in my basement, so... which is, I don't know, it was fun to do. Anyway, look, man, how have you been? Zach Robinson, how are you?
It's great to be back. I love talking with you, Andy. I've known you for a long time, probably 10 years, maybe a little under 10 years.
No, it would be 10 because we're in 2024 and I started the show in 2013, which means we recorded and met in the fall of 2013.
Well, that would make sense because The Construct came out July of 2013. So I was probably doing some type of some type of press, if that's what you would call it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that either. I didn't have a publicist, or did I know what I was doing? But yeah, I guess, man, it's been a long time. It's been a long journey.
Here you are doing all these fucking epic soundtracks, and like I'm still fucking running this ramshackle bullshit.
You've been doing great. You're a mainstay.
I'm a mainstay. Well, that's something.
You're gonna have to fill me in on the state of synth.
To be honest with you, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that sounds lame, but it's like I don't really participate much in the scene, as it were. Like, well, I nuked my Twitter, so it's gone, and
right,
which is something all sensible people should do.
Oh yeah, it's awful. It's a nightmare. Like, it truly is a nightmare of a platform. Like, I don't use it anymore, and when I do, I'm like, why is it showing me all these tweets of people I don't follow?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in this stuff. Why?
Because people, would tell me like, oh, well, you might as well keep it, like, just in case. But at the same time, like as long as I have it, I'm always tempted to just kind of log in. Like, it had to go. Like, I feel like a lot of this social media stuff just has to go.
Yeah.
Honestly, fine. If Twitter actually becomes a great place again, I'll just make another account. Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
well, what's nice is that it won't. So you just, that's it. That's it. Like, you did well, and now it's over. That part of your life's over.
Yeah.
That's what's so nice about it.
Yeah, it was a relief. I should have made a scene, though. Everybody makes a scene when they leave, where it's
That's
just
true.
like,
it's so annoying.
I'm unfollowing. I'm sick of the grind or whatever, or blah blah. And if you don't like my work, I'm unfollowing you, and like all this shit. And I didn't tell anybody it's gone, so I think people are gonna go try and at me and shit, and I'm not there.
Yeah, people at me still all the time. I mean, I literally just went on as we're talking about it, and I'm looking at these mentions, and it's just like half of it looks like it's bots, but it's not. It's just like, those tweets that only have hashtags in them.
Yeah.
Or people asking me about, it looks like people are asking about the Cobra Kai soundtrack, which that's fair. I guess that's like, yeah, I guess if you're going to use Twitter, that's fine. But I don't know. No one I know is on there anymore. I don't get my news from there. I don't get updates of people in my life that I care about from there. So it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. What I would like to do is just focus. Like, I know people who seem very successful on a specific platform, like, like they're big on TikTok, for example. I'd like to do that.
Right.
Like, instead of spreading myself thin, like just pick a platform and just put the energy there. The only problem is, like, once you pick a platform, then you get people complaining that you picked the wrong platform, so it's like now Instagram is bad, so like you'll never win on that front.
I mean, I think Instagram is also just a cancer on society. However, what I really do like about Instagram, just as a composer and as a musician and like a fan of other musicians, is I have found so many amazing musicians just like on Instagram who I have since connected with and have like worked with. Mm-hmm. And that is just a really, really cool thing. And I actually think a lot of composers, I feel like, don't take advantage of that. Just like I'm working with this amazing guitar player right now named Charlie Robbins, who I just found on kind of like Guitar Shred Instagram. And he's playing on Cobra Kai. He's doing some other stuff for us. And he's just like got such a unique voice. The style that he plays is very unique. And I just like DM'd him. And I said, hey, do you want to play on Cobra Kai? And he's like, yeah. And like, that easy. And now like I am working with this amazing musician. So I think that is very, very cool. But I also like am addicted to the app because it is actually a drug.
Yes.
And it most of the time is a nightmare.
Yeah.
But it is cool when you find cool shredders.
Yeah, that's why you got to follow all the Ninja Turtles pages.
Yes. They follow a lot of cool shredders.
What have you been doing lately?
Dude, I'm wrapping up this final season of Cobra Kai right now. It has been quite the journey. We're on the 6th and final season, and it's an extra long season. There's 15 episodes.
Ooh.
And it's normally 10. But yeah, I'm just trying to get to the finish line on this thing. It's gargantuan. The music is just so fucking loud and big and cinematic. And there's a lot of pressure, I think, for me and my partner Leo, just pressure that we put on ourselves just to like make this really quality and really good. It's wild. I mean, I started this project, I got hired in 2017. So it's been, by the time this comes out, it will have been almost 8 years of this just being a part of my life. Pretty wild. What's even crazier is like the construct came out in 2013, but I had been releasing music as DAD since 2009. So like, remember I had like this EP that's not even on Spotify. I think it's only on Bandcamp called Supermotives, which was like some of my really, really, really early stuff. Like first things I've ever produced musically, honestly. And that was 2009, like late 2009. I was in my dorm in college.
You mean
releasing that
with classic tracks like Miami Thunder and The Look of Being Old?
Yes.
10-Day Vacation, Stranger in a Strange Land.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Miami Thunder was the first DAD track ever. And that was written in 2008. I remember I was a freshman, and that was 2008. And I showed that to my composition teacher at college, and he was like, this is cool. And that was it. He was like, hey, do you want to like be writing new music and like contemporary classical? And I was like, well, here's my track, Miami Thunder. And to his credit, Professor Yim, to his credit, he gave me some production tips, and for The Look of Being Old, he taught me how to create that snare sound in The Look of Being Old, which I did by layering two samples, and then a shotgun. He was like, why don't you put a shotgun sample in there? I was like, thanks, Professor Yim. So to his credit, thank you. But yeah, that was man, it was just a long time ago, dude.
I like to hear stories of teachers who are actually encouraging.
Sorry, I just had a sip of coffee right as
That's okay.
That.
Sorry. I can make my question last longer if you want.
I am also very grateful for teachers like that. I think most people who have reached a certain amount of success would all have a teacher like that, I feel like. And I'm just very grateful for the teachers and mentors I've had in my life, because I definitely would not be here without them.
And now you are the mentor.
I try to be. I like to be. I have people that I have mentored in the last 5 years. I've had someone who works with me who's like my little brother at this point, Dan, who really helps out on all my projects, who I like to think I'm a mentor. And I have other people who have worked for me who are doing good things, and I like kind of paying it forward. And I try to, people send me music all the time. I try to listen. I try to give feedback if I can. It's hard to find time to always do it, but I know how valuable that information can be, so I try to do it.
And this is Dan, the unpaid intern?
Dan is not an unpaid intern. Dan has been my assistant for a while, and he gets a salary, and I think he's pretty comfortable, and we have a great dynamic.
Well, that's nice to hear, man. I'm sure he probably gets paid a lot more than I do, so good for Dan.
And he's really good at music. He helps me out with everything from technical stuff to writing. He's a great writer, and that's kind of how like composer teams work. Like that's how I came up. Remember, I worked for a composer named Chris Beck for a long time, also Toronto native. And I remember I worked on Frozen and Ant-Man, and that was how I came up. Like I was writing for Chris as an apprentice, basically. So that's one path on how to do it.
Does Leo have his own assistant?
Leo has his own Dan named Ramiro, who is also great. Because Leo and I do a lot together, but we also do a lot separately. So we each have someone full-time who kind of helps us out. And then there are occasionally projects where all four of us are kind of doing a lot of it. And Dan and Ramiro actually, there's 2 Cobra Kai video games, and the second Cobra Kai video game, we were working on that at the same exact time as Cobra Kai Season 5, and it was just so much work, and we're very protective of that brand and sound. So we were like, oh, why don't we have Dan and Ramiro pick up the torch on that one? And they did the lion's share of writing, and it was great because it was fun to hear kind of like other people do the Cobra Kai sound, and it was really fun. It was really, really fun to hear and to like get feedback and to learn, honestly. So it was cool.
Are you allowed to repurpose things? Like when they go like, it's the video game soundtrack, you're like, all right, well, we'll take fucking this track and just make it a minute longer, and now it's a video game track.
We couldn't do it for the video game. I remember they said we could not use anything from the show, and I don't really know why, because Sony owns all of it. So I don't know why, to be honest. And I actually think the opposite would not be true. I actually think if we wanted to use something from the video game, we could put it in the show, like a melody or a theme. But we haven't done that. But there was some repurposing. There was stuff that didn't get used in season 2 of Cobra Kai that ended up in the video game, for sure.
That's what I like to hear, man.
Yeah.
Recycle. There's no point in having things go to waste.
Oh, are you kidding? Dude, the amount of film music that has been thrown out in this world that has then been repurposed into like another piece of film music is, you would never believe the stuff that was, written not for what you think it was.
Well, look, we'll keep talking, but let's listen to some music. So you have not been here in a very long time. And so I went back and listened to the last season 3, season 4, season 5 of Cobra Kai. And I think you sent me a track from the new season, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll play that later on in the show. It'll be like a little tease.
That's a special one for sure.
In the meantime, let's listen to some tracks that you and Leo have done from some of the earlier seasons. So let's listen to this one. This is Miyagi Metal. This is from season 3 of Cobra Kai. And this is by Zach Robinson and Leo. I always have trouble saying his name. For some reason, when I say Leo Bierenberg,
Beer and Burger. Like beer and burger.
You know what the problem is?
That's how you remember it.
It's the flow from Leo to Bierenberg. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's
I get it.
That's the part that I get stuck on. Anyway, who cares? Let's listen to it. This is Miyagi Metal. And that was Miyagi Metal from the Cobra Kai Season 3 soundtrack by Zach Robinson and Leo Bierenberg. And I'm here with Zach Robinson right now, who's a cool guy. It's always fun to chat. It's been a long time.
I was going to say just Miyagi Metal is one of my favorites. It's not synthy, but it's It reminds me of Power Rangers. I just fucking love it.
What I enjoy about Cobra Kai is, as a show anyways, like its earnestness and just, this is just what the world is.
Totally.
It's big, it's cheesy, it's all of these things, but it embraces all of those. One of my favorite things about the Cobra Kai soundtracks is how over the top epic they are.
Yes.
Like, and it is,
Yes.
it's very funny to listen to when I think of what the imagery is, because I'm just like, dude, you could just take this soundtrack and put it on Conan or something and it would work.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I mean, I get you're writing the music specifically for the show, and that's fine, but in my imagination, I'm always just thinking like, Jesus, like this could be repurposed for like thousands of soldiers running with swords at a bunch of dragons and shit, and it would be appropriate, you know?
You should tell Hollywood directors this so that they hire me more, because that is definitely what I try to do.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like. Like, so it's pretty awesome.
Well, thank you very much. We try very hard to make it cinematic, and I actually think the thing about the secret sauce to this show is, as you said, it's sincerity, and like there is something. It's never making fun of itself, but it is in on the joke, if that makes sense. So the only way that this show works is if the music goes as hard and as big as we do it, because the music is giving the audience permission to kind of laugh at the situation,
Right.
and have fun.
Yes.
More importantly, to just have fun and to not take it so seriously. And I see sometimes criticisms on like, oh, you know, like season 4, season 5, it kind of jumped the shark. And it's like, no shit. Like it's like it's a karate soap opera.
Yes,
like
yeah.
just it's a live action anime.
Yes.
Like we have so much fun writing music for the show because like John, Josh, and Hayden, who created it, they just let us do whatever we want to do. They give feedback, they give us notes, and you know, they say sometimes things don't work here and there, or they want us to hit certain moments differently than we do in our first pass. But like our general concepts that we send them, like Miyagi metal, for example, like that, they're always down, which is crazy. Like that doesn't happen a lot in this business. So, and we kind of every season, that was season 3, and season 3, we kind of opened a door. Like there's some tracks on that album called Duel of the Snakes, which I'm sure you know what that is a reference to. But that is where we kind of opened this very like symphonic world, and things start to sound like Star Wars. And then since then, we've just been kind of pushing and pushing and pushing. How much can we get away with? And the stuff in season 6 that we're doing now, we're really like, we are operating on like a level that we have not done before, and we're finding all this new stuff, and John, Josh, and Hayden are so in line with it. It's just awesome. Like I don't think anything on TV sounds like this.
No, it's that's what's awesome about it, is it's so epic. I'm wondering, do you ever laugh while you're composing?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, all the time. All the time. Like Leo and I, we are cackling the entire time. And we don't work in the same studio, but we FaceTime each other all day. And we just be like cracking up. And it makes it so fun because that's why I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss, you know, kind of sitting down and just like, you know, we'll listen to the new track later, but when we get there, I'll talk about just like what it was like to write that, because there's so many times writing music on this show where I cannot believe I'm getting paid to do this.
We probably talked about this before, but are you composing to picture, or are they giving you a script first and you start creating tracks based on like, I'm going to need to do some fight stuff and some sneaking around stealth music or whatever, or do you
For
see
sure.
the edit?
Yeah, it's all to picture. And we actually don't read the scripts. We do what's called a spotting session, which is when we all sit down with the producers and we watch the episode for the first time, and we talk about the music needs and like when music comes in and out and what the tone is. And that is the first time that Leo and I watched the episode, and we don't know what's going to happen, and we watch it as a fan. We just watch it as fans. And I think the guys, John, Josh, and Hayden, they love that because we kind of are like a focus group audience to them too. So there's stuff like in the new season where, you know, we're just like screaming as we watch it because we're just so pumped. And I think that is really fun because that translates into our writing. Like we know that like, oh, when we watch this during spotting, this part really jacked me up. Like I gotta make sure the music reflects how I felt when I first watched it.
That's fun. So like you're sitting there in the thing like, oh fuck, Miguel just fucking broke his back on that
on the stairwell.
On the stairwell.
Exactly. I mean, but now, man, like when I say it's live action anime, I really mean that. Like, there's like a level of like power scaling that like everyone has kind of done, and like there's all these like, I don't know, like you even in season 5 you just see like there's like final moves that have been developed. Like, it's so over the top. And every time that there is something like that, these guys know, I don't know if they're anime fans, but they're definitely fans of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and Steven Seagal movies, and they just know what they're referencing. So, and we do too.
The other day I was watching Double Impact on Tubi.
I have not seen that.
Oh, dude, it's awesome because it's like it's Jean-Claude Van Damme playing twins, but
okay.
So there's a bunch of split screen shots, but they're done fine, but they're not great, right? Because obviously the bar is up really high with like fucking Back to the Future 2 and stuff. And so that's always in my head. I'm thinking like, 1989, they did some pretty good split screen effects and stuff. And then the Jean-Claude Van Damme one is still like the like when they did split screens in the 70s where they're not looking in the right direction. Sometimes like one of them's kind of out of focus.
So
like,
good.
It's awesome.
I love it.
They're never really making eye contact like when they talk to each other. It's awesome.
It's amazing.
Alex, he's your brother.
Brother? Why? Because he looks like me? I'm gonna change that. Because I'm gonna fuck up his face.
I don't know if you're caught up with Cobra Kai, but I'm not going to spoil this because you should be caught up, and hopefully your listeners are caught up. But season 5 sets up a tournament that is essentially like the Kumite. And this season is very like, we're really kind of like channeling the kind of like Paul Herzog
nice
Bloodsport sound. That is kind of like where our inspiration, like we have to kind of go back to basics a little bit. It's still very symphonic and everything, but we have to like, this season we were like, we gotta really do something like kind of 80s feel.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to that.
Yeah, hung out with Paul Herzog like a year ago.
Did you absorb his soul to get his essence for the
I think maybe a little bit. He's a chill guy. He's like lives, I think, in like Simi Valley, California, like not so far from me, and we just got breakfast and just talked about the good old days. And I love hearing kind of war stories from like 80s composers, and I feel like I've gotten to know a few of them. Like I've gotten friendly with Vince DiCola. We played a live show with Vince DiCola like 2 years ago, which was amazing. And I hung out with Harold Faltermeyer in Spain a couple years ago and played Top Gun on guitar with him, which was pretty cool. It's so fun, like hanging out with these guys, and they get a kick out of the fact that like not just me, but like your audience loves all this music. They love it. I think there was like a 25-year hiatus of like people not really appreciating this music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it comes out, it's popular, and then it like goes away. And then it's not really until, synthwave starts showing up. It probably would have been like 15 to 20 years, I would say.
Yeah.
Because like all that stuff started to resurface. And I think the Bloodsport soundtrack wasn't even on Spotify until like a year ago.
I don't really use Spotify that often. And I was just signed in with my free account. So I was listening to the Cobra Kai soundtrack, but then all of a sudden I'm like, this doesn't sound like Cobra Kai. And I walked in, and it's because it was like, it just started going into actual like soundtrack music for like Bloodsport and then some other movies.
Oh, I love it. I love that. Yeah, I know that like Leo Bierenberg and Zach Robinson Radio. It's like us and Paul Herzog and like Survivor. And like, it's fucking awesome. I love it.
Well, I want to keep talking, but let's listen to another track here. Well, speaking of fucking epic shit, how about It's Karate Time from season 4? It's big, it's fun, and we'll listen to that, and then we'll keep chatting. So this is It's Karate Time from the Cobra Kai soundtrack season 4 by Zach Robinson and Leo Bierenberg. And that was It's Karate Time, Season 4 of Cobra Kai. I'm here with Zach Robinson right now.
One of my all-time favorites, that song.
Yeah, it's fun. The whole thing is fun. It's an enjoyable listening to these soundtracks. I was going through sort of picking out the ones that are a bit synthier, although I guess we just kind of played two of the more metal-y ones, but...
that one's for the synthwave heads, though, because that one is very... I mean, that one, the template for that is Rocky IV. It's
yes.
Training montage from Rocky IV.
Yes. I like also, too, you have a track called We're Just Getting Started, which is one of those quick little, 1 minute ones.
Yeah.
And I dig as well. It's got these kind of rocky synth chord kind of things that come in.
Totally.
Which make me happy.
That one I just really like because, It's Karate Time is what I'm talking about. I really like that one because I just think it's hard to get, a score cue to stand alone sound like a song.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times they're a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and it sounds like you should be watching it with picture.
Right.
But It's Karate Time actually just feels like a 3.5 minute piece of music that is like a standalone piece of music. And even though it's serving a purpose on screen, but I just have always really liked that it's just kind of this overture to the tournament that's happening in the season. And Vince DiCola, who I just mentioned, is a very big influence. And when we played live, Vince DiCola, his band opened up, and then Vince played keyboards on It's Karate Time with us.
Nice.
It was so cool. So cool.
Did you get him to do throw in some Transformers?
He played Transformers in his set. He played Transformers and he played Rocky, and he played he had a couple bigger singles, I feel like, that he played too.
Yeah. I'd be in the crowd going do the death of Optimus Prime.
Yeah. That soundtrack is fucking awesome. His Transformers soundtrack is legit.
Yes. I think we've talked about this before. Yeah, his soundtrack is good. I find the music that plays funny in that film. Some of it's, I feel, inappropriate. I love Weird Al, but I find the Dare to Be Stupid part in that movie very strange.
It is strange. Yeah.
And also the You Got the Touch plays at a very strange time.
I'm not going to hate on You Got the Touch, so.
No, the song is awesome. It's just that moment in the film. It's weird. Optimus is about to fight fucking Megatron in their final battle, and as they're heading towards each other, it just starts playing You Got the Touch.
Well, I disagree. I think it's great.
It's great at the end when they fucking open up the Matrix and they play You Got the Touch when fucking... Rodimus gets the Matrix or whatever, but it's a strange going into battle song.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's still it's fine. It's not
I mean, dude, I often think about we watch these movies and they were just made so differently back then. I always wonder kind of what the decisions being made, what was happening. I just watched Police Story recently, and you've seen that, right? Jackie Chan.
Have I seen I don't think I have. Anyway,
I think it's all on Criterion. You should, or it's on. They're not hard to find, and you can watch the first 2 or 3. And Michelle Yeoh is in one of them. It's awesome. But Police Story is so sick, and the music is out of control. And I don't know. Jackie Chan, I think, directed it, and I'm what was Jackie Chan thinking? And not in a bad way. It's just I'm very curious to hear what were some of these decisions that were made for music?
Because sometimes people just have their focus.
Mm-hmm.
They work well as a team and they just sort of go, okay, well, so-and-so is going to do the music. And then they just sort of have faith that someone else is going to do that part. Because not everybody's like James Cameron. That's why when we watch the behind the scenes of James Cameron movies, it's always really interesting because, he really wants control of everything, right? It's down to the gun has to make this sound and the music has to do that, whereas I feel there are some people who just go yeah, we'll just give it to the fucking composer. He'll do it.
100%. Totally. Yeah. And I think back then it was way harder for music to get made, written, and recorded. And there were budgetary costs that kind of don't exist right now because I can make a mock-up of a fake orchestra in my house for no extra money for the production.
Right.
Instead of when, John Williams is writing E.T., it's he played the theme on piano for Steven Spielberg, and then Steven Spielberg said, I like this, and then the next time he heard it was on the scoring stage with 80 musicians playing it.
Right.
I mean, and Steven Spielberg probably just gave notes on the stage and they watched it to picture, but there wasn't the kind of same type of environment of revisions and rewriting and all that stuff. It was a little more acceptance of all right, this is the music we have, we're going to make it work.
Do you have a nice string library?
I do have a nice string library. I have a bunch.
Sometimes I buy plugins and I don't know why, because I'm not making any music. But like sometimes on Instagram, you know, when you get advertised these things, and there'll be always one cool synth sound at the start of every ad for a plugin.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, well, that is a fucking cool like bass noise.
Yeah.
So I buy them, and I don't know why. Like every year I buy maybe 2 to 3 plugins on a whim, like on a Black Friday or something, and go, why did I just buy this? Like I just have this these synths, and I'm doing nothing with them. And then one time there was this orchestra patches that were like, these sound really fucking good, and then I go to the website and it's like $3,000 or something. Like it was not a you know, like a $20 special like the ones I buy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, do you have the good one?
I do. I have a lot of good ones. By the way, I don't know. They're not that much. I'll clear that up.
Okay.
They're not $3,000. I've never spent $3,000 on something, but there's definitely a bunch that are over $1,000. I don't know. You buy them once and then you have it forever, and I use it every day. So it's my job.
I mean, you're scoring for TV. You're allowed. No shame.
Right. It costs a lot of money. This job costs a lot of money.
This is the thing when people talk about what it is to be a professional, you know, like you're paying for someone to bring their game, and to, you know, that's what, you know, the Zach Robinson salary is for, right? That you're going to come equipped with the best orchestra patches money can buy.
100%. And that's also what directors are expecting now. Like when we send like demos of Cobra Kai, it basically sounds pretty close to the real thing. It always sounds way better when we're done recording and producing it, but the demos sound quite good. Like we take a lot of pride in how our demos sound.
Well, that's good. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I told you. Good. I'm not getting any better at this.
No, this is great. This is great.
Let's listen to, this is sort of a slight change of pace, but there's a track I dug from season 4 called Mecha-Robby, which is kind of, it's got a nice blend of like, there's sort of like synth stuff, but it's one of those like kind of scary building atmosphere type songs. Yeah. I'm imagining someone sneaking around, but I'm not remembering what.
Oh no, this is a fight. This is an action scene.
There's a certain kind of like synth bass sound that reminds me of like Metal Gear.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think this song's got it, and there's a few others I think that sort of have that kind of vibe, but I dig it. This is called Mecha-Robby from season 4 of the Cobra Kai. And that was Cobra Kai season 4, the track Mecha-Robby. Kind of a more, when you listen to it without picture, it's kind of more of an atmospheric, scary build kind of vibe. Although pretty much all the songs usually end with some sort of guitar sting. It's like, even when it's like an emotional track, it'll still be like dee dee dee, then din 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 din, and like.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that there's definitely a way that I will end a lot of music, and it's very it always sounds like just kind of the end of like something in Double Dragon, or like there's like a sting that it just sounds like that.
Some of my favorite shit is the moment before credits roll on a TV show cliffhanger.
Okay, for sure.
I wanted to make an Instagram account. It's hard to explain, but what I wanted to do was basically do a channel where I would just make those.
That's so good.
Have different scenarios, like where I'd be playing different characters and stuff, but every skit is always like the 30-second thing where someone's like says a line and then like looks all concerned, and then the fucking music builds. Lost was great at it, right? Like every fucking commercial break and every cliffhanger, like yep. And of course, your soundtracks are full of those moments that are like, they're all
Dude,
like,
I am working on a show right now. It is the CBS reboot of Matlock. You're familiar with Matlock?
amazing. They're rebooting Matlock?
They're rebooting Matlock. Kathy Bates is Matlock.
I did know this. Okay, I knew this. I knew this.
It is a romp. It is very fun. It is a very different score than Cobra Kai. It is a very different audience than Cobra Kai. But it's like an old-fashioned... When I say old-fashioned, I mean like pre-streaming procedural. Like it feels like... It's like you can watch an episode. You can watch any episode, you know. There's like there's a through line that happens in the season.
Sure.
But, you know, there's like a case of the week type thing.
Yes.
And that show has tons of the like act outs that you're talking about.
Yes.
It's like, because it has commercials. So like streaming doesn't have like commercials, but like the more commercials you have, the more you've got to like every act right before a commercial, every act out is like, there's a little mini cliffhanger.
Is there part of you that wants to have fun and just put in a fucking sting from Cobra Kai and the fucking...
I've thought about it, but it would ultimately just create more work for me later on in my life. But hey, the fun of my job is that I get to kind of switch, you know, I get to put on different hats for different projects, and I really do have fun. Like I'm really happy that I'm not really like pigeonholed into like one genre or another, and I can do like a crazy action score like Cobra Kai, and then I can do a score like Matlock, which is a little more straightforward but has like a lot of fun, kind of like, it's just a smaller scale kind of fun score. It's kind of like Ocean's 11-y, maybe.
Is this like a complete reboot universe, or is Kathy Bates playing like the daughter of Matlock?
There's a little twist. It's not exactly what you think. I don't want to say anything.
Was this a multiverse situation?
It's not. I can say it's not a multiverse situation. But when I first watched it, I was like, oh, that's very clever. So it's a reboot, but it's not exactly what you think.
Well, I would like to see a digitally de-aged Andy Griffith show up as a ghost at some point.
Yeah, some deep fake of like Andy Griffith.
Yeah, just to pass the torch.
That could happen.
That's all I need.
Yeah, of course. On Kathy Bates' body, for sure.
Are you doing the whole score? Like, are they reinterpreting the theme song?
I have a new theme for the show, but we use the old theme occasionally. The same way that in Cobra Kai, we sometimes do some like Karate Kid stuff.
Yes.
Whenever there's like, well, everything is a legacy IP now. So like, like there's nothing original. So you always have to, sometimes you got to rep. But I will say on the new Matlock, the new theme is cool, and Jenny, the showrunner, really likes it. So there's a lot of new music.
You find a way to work in the...
Oh yeah, dude. When I first heard that, I wasn't familiar with that, and then I listened to it when I got hired, and I was like, "This is fucking crazy!" Like everyone should listen to the Matlock theme.
It's awesome,
and everyone should remember that this came out not that long ago.
Yeah, it's got a lot of horn sections in there. Like
it sounds kind of like a klezmer, like a little bit of a klezmer vibe. Like there's a clarinet. It sounds like I'm like on a shtetl, or like I don't know, like it's a little carnival-y.
Yep.
Like it's very ragtime.
Yep. And then
it's
the
just
end.
Bizarre. It's bizarre.
The end of it too, where you got the
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
For nostalgia's sake, they should edit the title sequence with 2 VCRs like the original Matlock, and just hold on an interlaced paused picture of like Kathy Bates like they used to do with Andy Griffith. It was such a cheap looking title sequence. Anyway, whatever.
Well, dude, what's kind of interesting about Matlock, even just to like tie it in with Beyond Synth, believe it or not, I just feel like Matlock is like a different side of the same coin of kind of like the 80s verse that synthwavers have adopted. And like that music that like synthwave is kind of based off of, that culture is really the counterculture to something like Matlock that was quite mainstream. That was, you know, a successful primetime TV show on CBS for many years. And like, that's what like adults watched. I feel like those mainstream types of shows are not as popular now, whereas the counterculture really is what became popular today.
Yeah.
But I just find that very interesting.
Well, I look forward to Matlock 2049 or whatever this show is called.
Yeah, that's really good. Mecha Matlock.
Yeah, Mecha Matlock would be awesome. But so is listening to cool music. So let's hear some more Cobra Kai soundtrack. So this one is from season 5. I'm going to tell you what I picture when I listen to this song. Okay, the track is called White Lightning.
Okay.
To me, when I listen to this, I mean, I know obviously what happened on the show was different, but this is the kind of song that I believe would play in a video game. I want the audience to picture this now. Picture a video game where you've beat the level, but now there's this final thing where you have to get on hoverboards and you have to drive really fast while like falling debris and like flaming asteroids and shit are coming at you. And then listen to this song because it perfectly suits that atmosphere. But I'm sure in the show it was a karate fight or something. So this is this is the track White Lightning from season 5 of Cobra Kai. And that was White Lightning from season 5 of Cobra Kai by Zach Robinson and Leo Bierenberg. I'm here with Zach Robinson right now because he's a cool guy. I don't think you're impressed with my interpretation of this song.
Are you kidding? I love it. And by the way, this is why I do my job. I love hearing about what people kind of internally see from my music. I think that is why I'm in it, you know? Like I hear music all the time, like that's not film music, and I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for this type of scene. Like that's how I fell in love with kind of music and with film music in general. It's just like putting images. So the more specific you get, the more I love it. I thought that was an amazing description.
Again, I think what I love about this soundtrack is it's a very versatile, like, because there are some scores that they're designed to be with the movie that they're assigned to, and when you listen to them and you're not watching the film, they don't quite work or whatever. And I find the score for Cobra Kai, like, it's fun to listen to, and I just picture so many things, you know?
Totally. I appreciate that. Thank you. We spend a lot of time really trying to make it an enjoyable listening experience, and it's like very theme heavy. Like we have like tons and tons of themes, we have tons of melodies. Like I'm working on, you know, episode 9 right now of the new season, so we've done 69 episodes so far, and so that is a nice worthy.
Yes, high five.
Actually, no, dude, wait, it's not nice. We've done 59 episodes.
Boo!
Sorry, I added 10. Boo! Fuck you. But we have so much material now, so it's really like the fun that we have is the arrangement and like how we decide to like employ different things. And again, there's always such a ridiculous thing happening on screen. We just lean into it as hard as we can. And it's, by the way, it is always a karate fight.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's one of the charms of that show is, you know, as I go back and watch like sort of older movies and stuff, there is this charm of older things to just deliver, like they just know what the audience wants. You know, when you watch like some B action movie from the 80s, like they know what everyone's there for.
Yeah.
Here's what people are here for. They want to see fucking Chuck Norris kick a guy through a window and then fucking break a neck or whatever and shoot some guns. And I feel like Cobra Kai is one of those shows like they know, like it's just like we're here for like over the top karate fights. Like that's what this is. And
it drives me crazy when people don't understand that. Like, I think there's things you can criticize about anything about this show for sure, but I think the idea that like it's too crazy, you're like, what do you want from TV?
Yeah.
I mean, I watch a fair amount of TV, and most of the time I'm like watching something and I'm like, this has no sense of fun at all.
Right.
I think people really like the new Fallout because it's pretty fun.
Yes, that was a great show.
It's a great show. And Twisted Metal actually kind of has a vibe like that too, and people seem to like Twisted Metal. So I think there's just like a different. There was so long, especially with video game adaptations, where like everything had to be like really like, you know, the gritty version of X or something.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I just watched Total Recall. I just saw it in theaters like a couple months ago, and it was the first time I'd seen it in maybe 10 years. And that movie is out of control. Paul Verhoeven is a mad genius scientist, and I love him very much.
Yes.
And like that movie, I'm like thinking like, didn't they make a remake of this movie with like Colin Farrell and like in like 2008? And it's like so peak 2008 Hollywood, where they're like, we're gonna take all of the fun and all of the craziness out of Total Recall because that's what people want to see. And like, it's just not true.
Also, I love the boldness as well of a lot of my favorite movies where like they don't go crazy with the weird cinematography filters and stuff either. Like they just sort of film things like this is just the way it is. You know, it's not like all blue tinted or green or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all just about like the idea. It's like just, you know, he's dressed as a lady and then the head's a bomb and it says surprise and then explodes. And like, it's just such a, it's just wild. Wait, but speaking of Twisted Metal though, so you also worked on Twisted Metal, right?
Yes, I did.
Now, did you do that with Leo or was that a solo affair?
I did it with Leo.
Okay.
Our brand of stuff that we do together that we're trying to kind of like hone in more on this actually is this kind of brand of just like very fun, over the top. We always kind of bring something different to the table, and Twisted Metal fell in that for sure because it's, you know, if you watch the show and you listen to the soundtrack, it's pretty wild, and it has some similarities to Cobra Kai, but it is it's kind of a different vibe. But it was a blast to work on that. I think you'll like it. I just think as a fan of video games, and there's a lot of fan service too. I played a few of the earlier games, but it got me into the, like, I want to play more of the games now after doing the show because there's so much fan service.
I'm looking forward to, I feel like, although this is just my assumption, that they didn't get to my favorite character, but maybe they do in the show. I don't know.
I don't know who your favorite character is, but I'm not going to say anyway.
My favorite character is Mr. Grimm.
Okay.
Who is the dresses all in black. But the thing is, even in the game, they change the origin like several times.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it like kind of the canon like resets occasionally, I feel like, in the franchise.
Yes. And so the thing was, I preferred the Mr. Grimm from the first game because he's essentially Ghost Rider and like Scorpion. Like he's a skeleton.
Right.
He just rides a motorbike and he was the weakest character, but he had the most powerful special move. And so I liked him just because he's like Street Hawk, essentially. He's just like a guy who dresses all in black on a motorbike. But then in part 2, they gave him a sidecar. And then I was like, oh, he's got a sidecar now. I wasn't as a big fan. And then like when they rebooted the franchise on the PlayStation 2, then they made him a Vietnam War vet who just kind of wears a skull mask.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, I preferred like Supernatural Mr. Grimm. Like I'm a big fan of supernatural skeleton characters in general. Like I love Scorpion, and I guess I'm just talking about Scorpion.
Skeletor.
Yeah. Anytime someone's a skeleton who has powers. Anyway, but I mean, as far as the show is concerned, they're doing another season, right? Like, did they start filming that?
I think they finished writing. I don't know if they've started shooting.
Okay. And you're going to be a part of that again?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you going to be involved with... Isn't there like a Cobra Kai movie or something?
There's a Karate Kid movie. As of now, we are not involved.
Okay.
I don't know anything about, but John, Josh, and Hayden are not involved in that movie.
What?
To be honest, man, I don't know what is going on with that movie. I have no information on it. It's a little bizarre. Like, I don't know.
I thought they were involved, so they're not. Okay.
Maybe they're consulting. I mean, they're not directing it, they're not writing it, they're not producing it.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, that thing's gonna be weird then. Isn't
but
it?
I don't want to step out of line with say let's talk after that movie comes out.
Okay, that's fine. Look, I like your you're a diplomatic man.
Sure. I truly don't know shit. About like anything. I don't want to seem like I know stuff, and I'm like, I actually don't know anything.
Yeah. Well, hey man, you know how to make cool music.
Yeah, that's true. That's the one thing that I do know.
Let's listen to this song. It's called Cleanin' for the Boys. It's from season 5. You got some saxophone going on here.
Do you know who's playing sax on that?
You're going to tell me when. You want to tell me before or after?
I'll tell you before. It's Tim Capello of Lost Boys fame.
Nice. I love anytime people get Tim Capello on stuff.
Yeah, he's great. Sunglasses Kid put me in touch with him.
Nice. See, it's so much fun. You know what's so cool is people who I've known since starting this show, 11 years ago, who are making music for big things and are successful and have careers. It's nice. I think like looking at what you're doing is really inspiring and cool. It's awesome that you've managed to do this. And Ed just had a song in the new Beverly Hills Cop.
I know. Yeah. It's awesome.
I know that was a whole sort of kind of like roller coaster thing too, because we talk on the phone, and so I know I've known about it for a while, but he's just like he didn't know if he could. I think he's publicly said it now, because I did see that post on Instagram, but I know for a while like he couldn't talk about it. Because he's like, oh, you should come on the show and talk about it. Sure. Like, I don't even know if I'm allowed to or whatever. And like,
yeah, right. I know. It's a different. I taught him a bunch too, because it is like such a different world. Just like kind of.
Yes,
doing it for
he did mention that. Yeah, he's just like like he would talk to you to get advice on contracts and things.
Kind of like therapy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's listen to it. This is Cleanin' for the Boys from season 5 of Cobra Kai. And that was Cleanin' for the Boys from season 5 of Cobra Kai by Zach Robinson, Leo Bierenberg, and Tim Capello on saxophone.
He's great. He's so good. I love Tim Capello.
Where does he live?
In Tampa.
Does he just record from his house, or did you get him to do a thing? Or
no, I think he just recorded. I just Zoomed with him, and I was like, "You want to play on this?" He was like, "Sure." I was like, "All right." It was that easy.
He seems like a pretty easygoing guy. I know like several people who
most of the time people like, if you just ask them if they want to do something, they'll like say yes. People get freaked out about asking people. I ask everybody if they want to participate in something I'm working on because I think it's very cool.
I don't know if it's like a social fear or whatever, where people just don't want to make that first step of just the approach.
Right.
For me, like whenever people would like start podcasts and they knew my show and they would like ask me, so, well, how do you get guests, or how do you get that guy on your show, or how do you do this and that? I'm like, I don't know, I fucking emailed him. Like, like,
right, totally.
Now, mind you, I used to always do it on SoundCloud, but like, I think I got to change my ways now, because I don't think people really check their SoundCloud messages anymore.
No, there's no way. You're the only person. That and Twitter. You're the only person.
Dude, it's so ironic. I could play a clip right now of season 1 of this show where I'm talking to Ogre, and I'm like, why do you use SoundCloud? It looks like a fucking mess. Bandcamp's cool, because like you got the artwork and you got the fucking album, like it's easy to follow. And then now I'm going to be like the last guy on there.
Yeah, man. You are. That's unfortunate.
You know what, though? I still pay the same price. They haven't raised the price on me.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the other thing, because
they need all the money they can take.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud, actually. I don't want to. Because I feel like now if you start a new account, it's like double what I pay.
Oh, I'm sure. We were just talking about Sunglasses Kid, and Ed just helped me out on the new track, which I can tee you up for this new one for season 6. It's called Heart of the Cobra, and I enlisted Ed for some additional like kind of production stuff, because he's just so good at specifically drum programming. I think he's like one of the best in the biz. So we worked on this cue for season 6, and then it's in the show, but it's pretty short in the show. But we loved it so much that we wanted to release it, like extend it and release it as a single. But I would also love to hear what you envision in your head from that, the same way that you envisioned the hoverboards.
Ooh, you're going to put me on the spot.
It's okay.
Well, how about this? Because I know you have to go soon. So why don't we just listen to the track, and then if there's something we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about, we'll wind down with that. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'll talk about...
I'm bad at shows, so...
No, it's all good. Why don't you play Heart of the Cobra and then come back and I'll have a final word about it.
Yeah.
And then
I'm leaving all this in, by the way. All right,
great.
Let's do it. This is Heart of the Cobra. And that was Heart of the Cobra from season 6 of Cobra Kai by Zach Robinson and Leo Bierenberg with some Sunglasses Kid touches, I've been told. And I'm here with Zach Robinson right now, who has to go in a few minutes because he's a busy LA boy, but he's let us listen to this very special exclusive.
Well, I think by the time that this episode comes out, that track will be out.
I just like saying things are exclusive.
Exclusive? All right, that's super fair.
This thing won't air until December, so let's just say it's exclusive.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude, yeah. So exclusive.
No one can get this anywhere. This will come out in a few weeks.
Exclusive,
but anyway.
man. Well, I'm glad we played it. I just love it. I had a lot of fun working on it, and I had this moment working on it where I was just like, man, 15 years ago I was doing DAD in college, and I was writing Miami Thunder, and now I'm like writing music that you can hear the through line from Miami Thunder to Heart of the Cobra. And it is wild that I'm like, I have made it my profession, and that it's wild that people love the show. And I'm so like fortunate to be a part of that community. And it's wild that it's like the Karate Kid universe. It's just like so crazy. And like, I'm definitely going to be just so sad when it's all over. I feel like I have just been really lucky to like get the opportunity to write all this stuff. And I've just, we talked about this earlier, but like the entire time that this was getting written, and just like cackling like forever. The fact that it is so 80s in such a fun way, and the guys, John, Josh, and Hayden, who created the show, like they always let us go this crazy. I love it.
I hope you do get to at some point score something that's as big as the music you make, like visually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not the, I mean, like, I appreciate the show Cobra Kai, but you get what I'm saying. I'm talking about like dudes with flaming swords on fucking dragons.
I would like to do that. I would like to do that, dude. I hope that happens. Like, I think one day it will happen. I can't peak at Cobra Kai, so I gotta keep going.
I've been very cynical and jaded lately on all the sort of meta in movies, and I'm hoping that there's some sort of nostalgia, because right now there's still that sort of 80s nostalgia wave, but there's still this sort of meta thing that's sort of incorporated in it, which again is why Cobra Kai is fun, because it just sort of embraces what it is without the need for too much like meta commentary. But like, it's why I get sort of bored of like more recent like Marvel things and stuff like that. Like I'm just like, just be what you are, just be big and bold. And so, I would love to see just a straight faced like sword and sorcery movie that doesn't feel the need to crack jokes or whatever. Like just be the thing. Just like, it's about a bunch of guys on cloaks riding dragons, fighting knights. And then this is the fucking score. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just, the score is as big as the fucking visuals are crazy, and that's what it is.
Totally, man. I really hope I get to do it, because I often do think about also, like, Leo and I are operating on such a high level here, just like how we're writing, and we're really pushing ourselves, and like, you can only hope as a composer that you'll get hired on projects that push you this hard. So I hope that, for my sake, that I find some new stuff. But these guys, the guys that created the show, they're going to be doing some big stuff after, I think. So if anything, we'll work with them again.
Because that would be cool. I wonder, like, if they have their eyes on other fucking 80s things. I guess we'll find out.
Apparently they have the rights to Duke Nukem, which I keep telling them, like, you got to make that.
That's a tough one, though, right? How do you... Duke Nukem has a certain sense of humor that I feel like might not operate very well.
That's their thing, man. They're good at that.
That's true. That's
true.
Who
would have thought Cobra Kai would be successful, Like, they're really good at riding that fine line.
Well, I guess we'll we'll see, but we still have another season of Cobra Kai, and I think they broke it up in 2, right? I saw a trailer that said part 1.
It's broken up in 3.
What?
Yeah, people are mad about it, but I actually think that everyone needs to chill out, because you just have to think of it as like 3 chapters. It makes sense. Like, just watch it and enjoy it. It'll all be out.
Don't tell me what to do. Okay, well, look. This is all fucking really cool shit. So you've been doing Cobra Kai soundtracks. People can listen to the soundtracks as well. They're on Spotify. They should watch the show. I think most of the people who listen to this show watch Cobra Kai anyway, so I don't need to tell them anything. But I know some people said some nice things as well about Twisted Metal. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't. Maybe I'll pick up Paramount Plus when season 2 comes out. And
please do.
I'll binge it.
I think it's a lot of fun.
And what else? And you doing Matlock? What are the other? Oh, we didn't even talk about the fucking Weird Al movie.
Yeah, Yeah, man. That was won an Emmy for that. It was pretty wild.
I love how this is the thing I didn't.
The final thing.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys got the Emmy, but it was for the soundtrack?
No, it was for the score.
Oh, the score. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's good then. So that's a thing that's deserved.
Thank you.
Well, no, because
it was not. Yeah, it wasn't. No, it wasn't like we got nominated for a Grammy with Al on the soundtrack.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But no, this was first. It was the category was Best Original Music for a Limited Series or TV Movie, and this is considered a TV movie because it premiered on a streamer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking cool. I should have been addressing you as Emmy Award winner this whole time. I haven't been doing it.
Yeah, you should have, and I actually, I kind of notched that, and I just shook my head, but it's like, when people get a doctorate, you got to say doctor. I'm kidding.
I like how I'm literally in the middle of saying goodbye and like, oh yeah, we're going to bring up the Emmy Award. I fucking suck. It's awesome.
It's great. No, dude, and by the way, it's also kind of just funny because, like, look, we're super proud of our score. We love the score to Weird Al. It's like, I don't know if you've seen it. The score is like Forrest Gump. Like, it's a very wholesome kind of Americana 90s, like Al and Silvestri score. Mm-hmm. And we love it. It's just funny that, like, Cobra Kai is the thing that I would say that we are known for, and we didn't win an Emmy for Cobra Kai. We won it for the Weird Al movie, which I just think is funny. But maybe next year.
What else gets nominated? I should listen and see.
White Lotus has won the last couple of years. I think Succession won.
Okay.
Once.
Not to throw shade on that, they do have good music in them, but I feel like there's certain awards where it's like they win the award because people like the thing.
Yeah, of course. That's like most awards, I think. Like, it's all a PR campaign.
But I know, because there's like probably some junky movie on like, or like, some Netflix thing that came out that like wasn't well received. But if you actually just listen to the music, you'd be like, actually, the score's pretty fucking cool. The show sucks, but this part's good.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's always just like, it's the same with like the director. Like the best director is always the guy who also directed the fucking best picture movie and the best screenplay.
Right.
It's like the same shit.
Yeah. And also, like, people can't watch everything, So, like, there's only, I feel like, 5 shows that, like, everybody in LA watches, like Succession or White Lotus, and then they vote for that. I feel like this one this year is Shogun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if Shogun is big where you are, but yeah.
Yes.
I think everyone watched Shogun.
Yeah, that seems to be the big one. I haven't, I got so much to fucking do, and meanwhile I'm just watching like Hong Kong martial arts films on Tubi from like the early 80s.
Well, then you gotta watch Police Story if that's what you're watching. So watch Police Story.
Yes, I'll do that. It's on the list, man. So I can see Jackie Chan like fucking break his arm off or whatever I know he gets like a stupid injury in every movie.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
He rules.
I know it's like, they always put it in the credits like it's like bloopers, but like they really hurt me to watch.
I know, it's like, I know.
It's like, here's the wacky blooper where he jumps out that window and doesn't quite get to the fucking other roof and like, oh.
Totally, dude.
Not, anyway. Okay, the point is this. It was nice talking. You have a lovely day and keep making cool music. And I look forward to watching the final season of Cobra Kai in fucking 3 parts, I've just been told.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate talking to you. And I'm glad we keep this tradition up.
Yeah, man. And maybe I'll get an Emmy. So next time we'll both have Emmys.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll vote for you.
Yeah.
Andy Spaceship.
All right, man.
Okay.
Well, listen, you have a lovely day. We'll take care and we'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Later.
All right, and that was my chat with Zach Robinson. Go check out part 1 of season 6 of Cobra. Fuck. Yeah, it's divided into 3. Anyway, it's good stuff, so go do it, and I hope you all have a lovely week or a few weeks until you hear from me again. However, don't forget, if you join the Patreon, there's content up there right now. Or you can wait until Color Theory and I are actually finished our Depeche Mode series, then you can just donate once and then binge the whole series and cancel. But we're probably not going to be done until like next year because there's a lot of Depeche Mode albums to cover. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Keep being cool, and tune in next time to Beyond Synth. It is the best synthwave chat show there is.
Beyond Synth Synth Radio is produced by Andy Last. Check the show notes for more information on the musicians featured on the show. Consider supporting Beyond Synth at patreon.com/BeyondSynth. Thanks for listening.